Hello everyone, welcome to Cactus Caffeine. My name is Anna. In this channel, I share with you my passion of growing cactus and other desert plants over a cup of coffee. For today, I am going to be showing you guys how I collect cactus seeds from my cacti. So it is August, it is summer, middle of summer, and most of my cactus flowered early in spring and during the beginning of summer. Summer is very hot here in Nevada. So around this time, usually the cacti slows down in flowering, although some of them still produce flowers, but most of them are in the fruit forming stage. And when we collect cactus seeds, of course, we collect it from the cactus fruits. So when your cactus flowers, sometimes you will be lucky and the flower would actually get pollinated, whether you did your own pollination or maybe the bees, you got help from the bees. They pollinated the flower. So if they get pollinated, they will form cactus fruits like this one right here. If you want to know how to pollinate your own cactus flowers, check out the video that I made. The link will be up on this screen and also below this video. Alright, so like I said, collecting cactus seeds starts from collecting cactus fruits. So these are cactus fruits. When they start forming, usually they're still green in color, but you will know when they are ready for picking or when the fruits are ripe. That is when they start changing their colors. So some of them turns red like this, some of them will be yellow, orange, or even pink. I have there my mellow cactus. It has pink fruits on top. So as soon as they change color, that is the time that you know that the fruit is ready for picking and the seeds are ready to be cleaned and ready for sowing. If you pick your cactus fruits too soon, say for instance, this one is still green. So if you pick that and collect the seeds out of it, there is a big possibility that the seeds will not germinate because they are not fully developed yet. When you collect your cactus fruits, make sure you put them separately in a container with a label. In my case, I like to use this little pouches that I just made, and I wrote down the name of the cactus in here. So when I collect it, I will know which cactus the fruit came from. So this is the Mammillaria fraliana. For this case, these fruits are very easy to harvest. Look. They look like little peppers. Okay, so this one it's very easy to pick. And then as I pick them, I put them in this container. All right. Then let's move on to this Cactus setis pinus. All right. Nice, plump and juicy cactus fruit. These are actually seedlings. I grew this from a seed. And these are about, I'd say, 4 years old. They flower very early. Cactus setis pinus, and they're very easy to germinate as well. Okay, and put it in here. If your flowers don't get pollinated, they'll actually just wither like this one, and it will not form any fruit at the bottom. So this flower was not pollinated. Some cacti fruits do not change in color, but you will know that they will be ready for picking because they will actually burst open and release the seeds. This is a Echinopsis mirabilis, and this one is self-fertile. So even though you only have one, for me it's like 99% guaranteed that after it flowers, it will develop its fruit. This one does not change color, but I will show you how I know that it is ready. So see underneath, it burst open and it's already showing all the seeds. All right, so we'll put this in my pouch. And then sometimes if I leave the fruit too long, they would actually detach themselves. Look at this. All the seeds are already scattered on top. because I left these ones too long in here. So they burst open and spilled the seeds on top of the cactus. Here is the mellow cactus with the pink fruits that I showed you guys earlier. Ooh, they are actually already detached themselves. Some of them are too ripe. They already dried. But you can still get the seeds out from these fruits. Okay. After picking out all the fruits, you see all the dried flowers there on top. So at this point, we will just wait and see if more fruits will pop up from this cactus. These are Parodia atonis, and then because I have two of them, they usually flower at the same time, and I keep them side by side. So the bees or the butterflies does the pollination for me, and I get a lot of fruits out of these two cactus. So these are the fruits. These are actually overripe, or they're actually dry already. So see, this is a fruit, and you see the seeds peeking out from it. And most of the time, since I get a lot of this in the previous years, sometimes I will not anymore clean the fruit. All I do is I would like release the seeds, like squeeze the fruits and let the seeds fall in there. Okay, let me show you, where is that fruit. See, so this is the fruit with all the seeds, and sometimes I would just scatter the seeds in there. I mean, this is a slow process of growing cactus from seeds, and the germination rate is not very good. But then sometimes I would get lucky, and this is the result. So you see this other pot in here. These all germinated from the seeds that I scattered. I mean, I might have scattered a few hundreds in there, and I was able to germinate 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more at the back. So 5 out of several hundreds. So your germination rate will not be as good if you just drop the seeds in here. Especially here in the desert, I don't have the humidity and ideal climate for germinating seeds faster, but they will germinate. As you can see here, they will germinate, but your success rate is lower and the growth rate will be slower. But it is possible for you to germinate cactus seeds by simply scattering the seeds on top of your soil. But if you want to know how I sow cactus from seed in a way that will make the seeds germinate faster and the seedlings grow faster, I made a video about my method of germinating cactus seeds. You will see the link up on the screen and also below in the description. If you try to pull the cactus fruit and there is still some resistance, I would suggest you to leave it there for a few more days or a few more weeks, because that tells me that this cactus fruit is not yet ready for picking. And upon closer look, I see that the fruit there is actually still green. So see, even if I tug on it, there is still resistance. So I would give that a few more weeks. Here is my big Opuntia ficus indica, and it has a fruit here on top. Now this fruit, you can actually eat this. As far as I know, all cactus fruits are edible, but then most of them are very small that you can hardly get anything out of them except for seeds. But fruits like this or the dragon fruit, those are big enough for you to eat. But this one, I will not be eating it. Instead, I will be collecting the seeds out of this, and I will show you guys how I do it. The next that I'm going to show you guys is how to take out the seeds from a fruit. So this is the Echinopsis mirabilis fruit, and this one is already dry, so it should be easier to take the seeds out of a dried fruit. I have here a piece of paper, and I'm going to fold it in the middle, and you're going to know later on why. And then all I need to do now is to crack this fruit open in order for the seeds to drop. Okay, so as you can see, because the fruit is dry, the seeds detach easily from the fruit. However, not just the seeds drop, but also bits and pieces of the fruit. So we still need to clean this some more before we store the seeds. Next, just give the seeds a gentle rubbing. This will help separate the dried fruit from the seeds. Grab another piece of paper, fold it again, and then we are going to be transferring the seeds to the other paper. The fold that we made guides the seeds as it slides down to the other paper. Most of the fine particles of the dried fruit are left attached to the paper. We are just going to do this procedure for about 4 or 5 times or until the seeds are clean. These seeds are clean now, so we are ready to transfer it in a bag. Okay, and then don't forget your label. I like to write the name and the date when I harvested the seeds. And this is ready for storage. The next one that I have here is a fruit from a Gymnocalycium. This is Gymnocalycium Friedrichi. Ooh, very juicy. All right, so for this type of fruits that is still very juicy, very fresh inside, I like to use a strainer for this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this off using a strainer. I'll transfer this to this paper towel. And then I'll leave this out on this paper towel for about a few hours is enough for the seeds to dry out. And then the pulp should stick to the napkin. So when you take the seeds out, you should be able to take out just the seeds, the clean seeds. This is from the Mammillaria frilliana. Now for little cactus fruits like this, that doesn't have too much of a fruit meat inside, I just like to split it open like this. See, you see the seeds there now. And then I would simply scrape this straight on a tissue or a paper towel. Okay, so there's not much fruit inside. not unlike bigger fruits like the one I showed you with the gymnocalcium. That's why for that one I had to wash it first because there's just too many fruit pulp inside. But for this one, there's not too much. It's mostly seeds. So for these type of fruits, I can just simply scrape it off straight on a piece of tissue. Now, if you want, after you take it out from the tissue, you can still wash the seeds, but I don't really do that anymore. I just bag it straight. I can put it in the bag straight once it's dry from the tissue. I'm going to leave this out for a few hours or maybe till next day for the seeds to dry. Next is this fruit of the Opuntia Ficus indica or the nopales. So I'm gonna slice this open. Okay, so this is actually very sweet. I've tried it. It's very sweet, except there's too many seeds for me. I don't have the patience to eat this fruit, but it's very good. My cousin actually uses a juicer. She makes a juice out of this. Okay, so I'm going to scoop this out. And then I'll put it in a strainer because again, I will be washing this off in the sink. Okay, I'm trying to be careful not to get blockheads on my fingers. Makes me want to try it out. Let me try this little piece. Very sweet. Very sweet. I just wish the seeds are smaller. But it's very good. Very nutritious too. So the fruit pulp is very large for this type of Opuntia fruit, that it wouldn't go through my strainer in here, my fine strainer. So I decided to transfer it in this container with water. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just massaging the seeds, trying to take out the pulp or separate the pulp from the seeds. And then the seeds are big, so they would sink in the bottom, and hopefully the pulp would just float, and then we can easily filter out the pulp and separate the seeds. Okay, I think it is working. So the seeds are sinking in the bottom, and I can just take most of the pulp out. So normally I don't do this to other cactus fruits, but with Opuntia, since the pulp sticks to the seed, like big chunks of pulp sticks to the seed, the strainer method that I was doing for the other types of cactus fruit doesn't work for this one. So this is what I am doing, and looks like it is working. So like I said, you guys might have a better method than this. If you do, feel free to share them in the comments below this video. Alright, this is good enough for now, and now I'm going to transfer this on a piece of tissue. Alright, and I'm just going to try to spread this out. And then again, I will leave this out to dry. I think in this case, since they're bigger and there's more fruit attached to the seeds, I will leave this out until tomorrow or for about 24 hours. Here are some of the cactus seeds that I collected from my own plants. Cactus seeds would last for several years as long as you store them properly. I don't know exactly how many years is the viability of cactus seeds, but I've had seeds that I collected myself and then I sowed them 4 years after and they still germinated. So I would say 4 years if you store them properly, they can still germinate. So when you store them, make sure you place them in a container or in a place where it's cool and dry and avoid direct sunlight. So this is the Opuntia ficus indica seeds. Look how big they are. Of course, after collecting these cactus seeds, the next step would be planting them or sowing them. So if you want to know my method of how I sow cactus seeds, I encourage you to watch 2 of the videos that I made. The links will be below this video. Alright, that's it for today. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Follow me on Facebook and in Instagram. And until next time, bye everyone and cheers!